Welcome back to Sustainable Sense, where we explore the world of money, markets, and the environment. Today, we're shedding light on a topic highly requested by one of our listeners, 529 college savings plans. So whether you're a student planning for your future or a parent preparing for your child's educational journey, this episode is just for you. Welcome to Sustainable Sense, where we invest in climate defense. You're in for our hot take on all things money, markets, and the environment. A 529 plan is a smart way to save for future education expenses while enjoying tax advantages. So a 529 plan allows us to make investments with certain restrictions and grow tax-free. When it's time to unlock this chest for college expenses, you can do so without owing any taxes on the earnings, as long as they're used for college expenses. These plans, typically sponsored by states, state agencies, or educational institutions, cover qualified education expenses at eligible institutions. For example, let's say you invest $10,000 in a 529 plan, and it grows to $15,000 over time through different investment initiatives that you make. Normally, you'd have to pay taxes for that $5,000 profit, but with a 529 plan, you don't have to, as long as you use it for qualified educational expenses. You can use the money for lots of different things related to education, like books, supplies, and room and board if you live on campus. When you have a 529 plan, you're in charge. You get to decide how your money is invested in things such as stocks, bonds, and ETFs, although the choices may be limited, and you can change the beneficiary if your plans change. For example, let's say you originally opened a 529 plan for your oldest child, but later decide to use the money for your younger child's education. With a 529 plan, you can easily switch the beneficiary to your younger child without any hassle. Depending on where you live, you might also get some extra perks for using your state's 529 plan, like matching grants or scholarships, which can make your college savings go even further. For instance, some states offer matching grants where they'll match a certain percentage of your contributions to a 529 plan, effectively doubling your savings. So how exactly does this work? There are two main types of 529 plans: college saving plans and prepaid tuition plans. One of the big pros of college savings plans is flexibility. With these plans, you've got the freedom to use the funds at pretty much any accredited college or university in the US, and sometimes even abroad. So whether your kid's dreaming of Harvard or studying in Europe, you're covered. Plus, there's a whole buffet of investment options to choose from. We're talking mutual funds, ETFs, you name it. It's like building your own financial menu to match your appetite for risk and reward. And here's the cherry on top: tax benefits. Your contributions grow tax deferred, and when it's time to pay for at college, those withdrawals are tax-free federally. Plus, some states throw in a few extra tax deductions or credits. But let's flip the coin and check out the cons. Like any investment, there's always risk, right? So with college savings plans, you've got to keep an eye out on your investment. If the market takes a nosedive, your principal might take a hit. And watch out for those sneaky fees. Some plans come with administrative or investment fees, which can chip away at your returns. So it's important to do your homework and pick a plan with fees that won't eat too much into your savings. Now onto prepaid tuition plans. In these cases, you basically lock in today's tuition rates for tomorrow's education. So let's say tuition is $1,000 now, and in 5 years, that $1,000 tuition only gets you half the tuition, but you locked in your rate, so now you only have to pay $1,000. So that means you're shielded from those pesky tuition hikes, and you can sleep easy knowing exactly what you'll be paying down the road. No surprises here. But as with anything, there is a flip side. Prepaid tuition plans can be a bit restrictive. They usually only cover tuition and mandatory fees at in-state public colleges and universities. So if your kid has their heart set on a private school or studying abroad, you might need to rethink your strategy. And there is potential for loss too. If your child decides to skip college or snags a bunch of scholarships, you might face penalties or limits on how you can use those funds. Now let's break down how to open a 529 college savings account. First, research and compare plans. Look into different 529 plans available nationally or in your state, considering factors like investment options, fees, and tax benefits. Then, choose the right plan. Select the plan that aligns best with your goals and financial situation, taking into account investment options and state-specific advantages. Third, open up your account. So complete the necessary paperwork either online or through paper forms, and then fund your account. So begin contributing regularly or with lump sums to start building your savings. And lastly, keep track of your account's performance and make adjustments to your investment strategy as needed. And there you have it, our step-by-step guide for how to open a 529 account. Remember, every financial journey is unique, so take your time, do your research, and enjoy the ride. Now, here's a question for you listeners. Why is it called a 529 plan? You can answer in the poll below or on our Instagram story. Anyway, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at sustainablecentspodcast or reach out to us on Gmail at sustainablecentspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's sustainablecentspodcast@gmail.com. And check us out on LinkedIn as well. We love hearing from all of our listeners and can't wait to get to know more of you. So until next time, this is your host signing off. And as always, invest your cents in climate defense.